Okay, the way we left off the last video was kind of egregious, I know, but you guys love the content, so I gotta keep it a little bit dramatic sometimes. We saw how Amato had given Kawaki Ishiki's karma weapon in order to save Naruto, while Amato's own true goals stayed hidden. Methods aside, Kawaki got a crazy power boost and started fighting Momoshiki in Boruto's body, of course, on pretty equal footing. Code, Eida, Shikamaru, and Naruto all watched in surprise at this kind of manufactured second Ishiki that Kawaki was running around as. The two went back and forth exchanging blows until Kawaki almost crushed Boruto under these disruption cubes. Naruto saved his son while Code looked like he was just there enjoying the show at this point. Naruto chastised Kawaki for trying to kill his son, but he countered with how he was only doing what actually needed to be done for Naruto's sake, as Momoshiki had come this close to killing him. Boruto finally managed to get Momoshiki under control, and he asked Kawaki to fulfill his promise to him. These two decided to use their last resort plan, and the chapter ended with Kawaki piercing Boruto straight through the chest with a massive claw attack, like Kawaki had trying to awaken his own Mangekyo since Sasuke is damn near a side character now. Naruto ain't really gonna like this one though, as the last thing he ever wanted to happen happened right in front of his face, and I don't know what kind of relationship Kawaki thinks that they have, but I don't think this is good either way. Maybe I just don't understand this level of loyalty, because if I'm Naruto, Kawaki can't come anywhere near me anymore without it being immediate violence. If you guys haven't already, be sure to have those notifications turned on by clicking the bell icon down below to never miss an upload, and if you haven't already, consider leaving a like on this video as well. It really helps the videos out a ton. Be sure to follow on both Twitch and Twitter, both will be linked down below to stay up with me and all your favorite anime related content. But without further ado, Boruto's lifeless body is just lying on the ground with a gaping hole through his chest as the entire battlefield remains silent outside of Naruto's gasp now. Naruto runs to his son's body, panicking like crazy, and keeps calling out to him, but to no avail. Code is visibly distressed now too, that his divine tree sacrifice has been killed. Meanwhile, Eida is kinda irritated too as she fusses at Code about what he's gonna do now, as Code decides it's probably time to move on since everything that's happened was totally unexpected to him. But Eida reminds him that she will absolutely not let him use Kawaki for the sacrifice now. She says that she won't interfere with his goals, but Kawaki is still out of the question, period. Code's in a bind now, and he decides to talk it out with her once he gets back, and retreats for now finally. Code puts down some claw marks and starts to rant towards Kawaki, upset at him for killing his sacrifice and how him obtaining power isn't going to change anything in the bigger picture. How he would never be free and would always be led around by others. After this grim reminder of Kawaki's fate, Code tries to make a casual getaway saying he has urgent matters to attend to. He then kicks Shikamaru away and tries to dive into his claw marks, saying we'll meet again. Kawaki is all the way done at this point with Code and already made up his mind that he's gonna end him here, because the claw marks suddenly disappear and cause Code to fall onto the ground. Code realizes that Kawaki used one of Ishiki's dojutsu to shrink his claw marks to the point where they became unusable. Kawaki starts walking towards Code, now ready to finish him, and freaking out, Code tries to put down more claw marks which instantly disappear, and Kawaki reminds him how he's in no position to talk about other people's fates right now. Kawaki's determination is something else though, as he's ready to take down anybody threatening Naruto's life, even if it's Boruto. So Code really shouldn't think that there's any chance that he let him get away here. Code dodges some chakra rods and tries to attack Kawaki with his claw, only to get effortlessly blocked and punched across the face. He eats a kick to the stomach and finally starts realizing that he is horribly overpowered in this situation now. Shikamaru takes the chance to run towards Naruto, who's desperately calling out to his son's lifeless body in his arms. Shikamaru realizes that Naruto has even fallen out of his sage mode and tells him to pull himself together because the battle isn't over yet. Naruto continues to grieve while the battle gets more intense behind them, with Code still getting tossed around. Shikamaru tells Naruto that letting Code get away here would cause even bigger problems and they should probably help Kawaki take him down now that they have the chance. When Naruto still can't snap out of it, Shikamaru starts yelling at him to remind him that he is the Hokage and that Boruto decided on this path himself for everyone's sake, so he needs to remember his role as well. Code gets pierced by chakra rods and starts panicking even more when he realizes he's inches away from being taken down now, and by Kawaki of all people. Kawaki starts preparing the final blow while mentioning how he doesn't know Eida's motives, but if they're against Naruto as well, he has no mercy for her either. In a final desperate attempt, Code reaches into the claw mark across his head and pulls something out. A huge explosion occurs as we see Kawaki getting blown away, to Naruto and Shikamaru's disbelief as well. The dust clears to reveal that Code has just pulled out the upper half of Damon's body via the claw mark to save himself. Eida is perplexed at Code's just audacity at this point to just pull the kid through without any warning too. Awake now, Damon demands to know where he is, and Code apologizes immediately, saying that he needed Damon's reflecting ability. Damon, being a freaking savage fighter in his own right I guess, starts offering to crush Code's enemies for him if he wants him to. Code calms him down and pushes him back home via the claw marks, saying that they'll talk later. Back on Eida's lap, Damon complains about it being boring here, while Eida warns Code about doing too much as he pleases, and that Kawaki better be okay. She threatens that if anything happens to Kawaki, Code will regret this moment. Worried, Code sends one hand through a claw mark to check Kawaki's pulse and reassures Eida that he's still alive. Eida simply says, "Good," and that if Code's answer had been different, she would have sent Damon back to kill him. Damon smiles sadistically while a defeated Code looks at the fallen Kawaki, admitting that he has no chance against him right now, as much as he hates to admit that fact. He states that he needs to have his limiters removed and that Amada will restore his true power to him. Then he just leaves, leaving Shikamaru and Naruto in this tense situation that words can't even really express. The duo look at the knocked out Kawaki, and Shikamaru says that they need to decide how they're gonna deal with him, given how he killed his comrade without any hesitation. Naruto defends him, saying that it wasn't his fault alone. Irritated in his own right, Shikamaru retaliates about how they would have had to deal with Momoshiki's power eventually too, but how Kawaki is willing to do anything for the sake of his goals is a major problem, and this is gonna cause a massive predicament. Naruto calmly states that it's not a good enough reason to abandon him. Shikamaru states how they're gonna need to consider the other villages, handle their responsibilities, deal with Konoha's backlash against Kawaki, and really think about their next course of action. Gotta give it to Naruto though, he is really somehow able to stay the bigger person in all of this. Could not be me. Naruto reminisces about how Boruto considered Kawaki his brother, a part of his family, and that if they can't stand by him in tough times, then who would? Shikamaru questions whether that's even how he really feels in his heart right now, after Kawaki just killed his son, and Naruto responds yelling at him, "Enough." The tense air is suddenly broken when a teen's hand slowly rises up and lightly punches Naruto's chest. "Who was killed?" he asks weakly. Naruto is frozen as Boruto slowly gets up, grunting along the way, complaining it's rude to just write him off like that. Naruto bursts into tears and hugs his son, while Shikamaru wonders how did he just come back to life with that big ass hole in his chest. Boruto tears his shirt to reveal an oddly shaped black mark where the hole used to be, and the scene gets suddenly foggy again. Boruto looks up to see Momoshiki staring at him calmly, visible only to himself. Boruto asks him just what's going on here, and now Momoshiki begins the explanation of exactly what happened and Boruto's fate from here on out. Momoshiki explains how the loss of his vessel will cause his soul to extinguish, due to it acting as a soul's receptacle and anchor to the living world. For his own sake, he couldn't let this 1 in a million vessel, Boruto, die. He explains that after part of Boruto's heart and lungs were destroyed, in addition to a lot of blood loss, he intervened to prevent Boruto's certain death. Momoshiki had actually resuscitated Boruto using part of the karma. To break this down, Boruto's karma contained all of Momoshiki's data in compressed format. 82% of it had already been extracted and diffused into Boruto's body. Momoshiki would have been completely resurrected if the remaining 18% also extracted successfully, but none of that matters if the vessel itself gets destroyed beforehand. In an act of self-preservation, Momoshiki rewrote the remaining 18% into Boruto's data to fabricate or recreate the cells and tissues he lost. Boruto simplifies it even further, asking if Momoshiki used the parts meant for his body to revive him. Yo, these two are actually starting to seem a lot like Naruto and Kurama here. Momoshiki confirms Boruto's statement and says that he himself can no longer resurrect. Feeling like he won, Boruto starts rubbing the fact that his resolve prevented Momoshiki's resurrection in his face, like their plan was some complete success. Momoshiki calmly shoots all of that down and says that he's only appearing before him to warn him. Rewritten or not, he explains that it all started off as Otsutsuki data originally, and now all 100% of that data has finished extracting successfully. Meaning that as of now, Boruto is officially a pure, genuine, and complete Otsutsuki. This also means that he's ready to be sacrificed to the Ten Tails at any moment, and Code is gonna realize this soon enough in return for him. Boruto looks at the bright side though, saying he doesn't have to worry about hunting that monster down now. Momoshiki warns him, however, to quit being so cocky, for Boruto can never resurrect again and he will stay dead next time. Boruto remembers how Momoshiki once warned him about how those blue eyes will eventually take everything from him and asks if this death was what he meant. Momoshiki just laughs in reply, saying that this has nothing to do with that, and as for why that will come to pass, even he can't see. He finishes with an amused warning that it will happen soon, and when it does, it'll be quite the spectacle. The focus now shifts to Code and Eida elsewhere as the chapter settles. Eida states how Code doesn't even have a single claw mark where Amato is being protected in Konoha, and asks him how he plans to get to his target. Code doesn't seem too worried though, because he reassures her that he's already taken measures for that. The final panel then ominously shifts to Shikamaru, who is watching the heartwarming father-son reunion where we last saw them, pretty much assuring us that Code wasn't just hugging Shikamaru for 2 chapters for nothing.